I'm Peter. For this video, we're going to be going over resting blood pressure with my subject, Katie. So Katie, how long have you been resting here?
About 4 minutes.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so for the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to palpate where your brachial artery is. That's going to be near where the elbow is. So palpate for that. Okay, find out where it is. So now all I want you to do is to have your forearm just kind of relax right onto this table, palm up. Okay, so for the next 15 seconds, I'm going to run this stopwatch. With the stopwatch, I'm going to make sure I get your heart rate. So. Okay, so from that, I got that your resting heart rate was 60 beats per minute, 60 BPM. So now that I have your resting heart rate, from now on, I'm going to make sure that we find your resting blood pressure. So for resting blood pressure, I'm going to bring your cuff of your shirt up. Now I'm going to take the sphygmomanometer with the cuff in the bowl. I'm going to put the cuff right over the top of your arm. This cuff actually has a little artery line where the brachial artery is supposed to go. So I'm going to make sure that this entire thing is 1 inch above the antecubital space. So, and the line still goes with the brachial artery. Works great. Okay. So now that the cuff is nice and situated onto our arm, I'm going to try to listen to the croc cuff sounds. The first croc cuff sound is the first little beat that I hear after I release the pressure from the cuff, and the second croc cuff sound is the last sound that I hear, or into the silence. Okay, so when I'm going to put the little head onto your elbow, I'm going to make sure that the head of the stethoscope is right on top of the brachial artery, and it's not going to be pressing too hard or too soft. It's going to be that nice little perfect balance. So too hard would really restrict blood flow, and then too soft would just not give me loud enough sounds. So when I am pumping up the cuff, I'm going to make sure that the bulb itself is closed, meaning that this little knob is clockwise all the way, nice and tight. And then I'm going to pump it up all the way to 180 onto the little gauge here. And then on the gauge, it's going to go down 2 to 3 little pressure points every second when I take off the pressure from this little knob. So I'm going to make sure that now the little earpieces are going to go forward towards my nose and into my ears. The head goes onto the brachial artery, not underneath the cuff, just right below the cuff. Pressure up to 180. And release. So now I'm going to make sure that the pressure is totally off from the cuff. Take it off. Your resting blood pressure was 132/90. And that concludes how to do a resting blood pressure on a subject. Hi, I'm Peter. For this video, we're going to go over resting heart rate. We're going to get it from the radial artery. For setup, all I need is a subject. My subject today is Katie, and also I need a stopwatch. So for our first little step, I'm going to make sure that, have you been seated here resting for the past 3 to 5 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, sounds great. All right, so for this little setup, I need you to put your arm straight out, palm up. Make sure you can bring your arm a little bit down. It's going to be about level with where your heart is at. So all I'm going to do is make sure that I have my index finger and my middle finger. They're going to be together. I'm not going to use my thumb. It's bad. And all I need you to do is make a fist and then flex your wrist. So I'm going to find out where the palmaris longus is. The tendon is right here. Now you can relax your hand. So I'm going to find out where your pulse is right here. Palpate. So I found out where it is on the radial artery. So now for the next 30 seconds with stopwatch, I'm going to count how many little pumps or beats that happen within the radial artery. I'm going to multiply that number by 2 to find out her blood pressure within a minute. So, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Stay nice and relaxed. Go to your happy place. Good work. All right, so from 30 seconds, I felt 30 beats, so multiplying that by 2 is, so your resting heart rate would be 60 beats per minute. So that concludes the video for how to do resting heart rate on a subject.